Hey everyone, are you ready to hear another story about how God uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Awesome! Let's get started. There once was a king named Nebuchadnezzar thought he was a really big deal. In fact, Nebuchadnezzar was so full of himself that he built a huge gold statue of himself. He wanted all of the people to bow down and worship it whenever a special trumpet was blown. He said that anyone who didn't bow would be thrown into a fiery furnace, living in the land were three men who, like the king, also had really big names: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now these three men followed God and knew it was wrong for them to bow down and worship a silly statue. So when they heard the horn, they didn't bow. God gave them courage to do what was right. Before long, people noticed that they weren't bowing. Some servants of the king who told on Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the king was mad. He ordered they be thrown into the furnace immediately, and in case the hot fire wasn't enough to harm them, he demanded they be tied up so they couldn't get away. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were tied up and tossed in the fire. But when the king looked inside the furnace, he was shocked by what he saw. There was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego walking around, no longer bound by ropes. And with them was a fourth person. When the king saw this, he demanded they be taken out of the furnace right away. They came out completely unharmed. Even in the fire, God was with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Just like God didn't leave them on their own, we can trust that God is always with us too, because God is always by our side. God gives extraordinary courage.